he just went low. He's in his head. He's in his head. He's open. His head wide open. Cracked open is amazing.
Hey, what's going on guys, it's Mm10100 back again with an update video, and this is actually the third time I've actually had to record it, and I've already started my words. There you go, another fuck up. But anyway, I'm going to continue on with it. I'm actually on the computer right now, just watching some videos and stuff, I got the cricket on in the background there. And it's pretty hot in here. We've got the aircon on. I wouldn't say it's full ball, but it's pretty close. Fans kind of reduced a little bit. If you're hearing that bell, that's my little puppy dog that we've had for about 12-14 weeks. Well, no, she's 12-14 weeks old. We've had it for about 6. And she's probably killing some of her toys. I'm just gonna look. Yep. Little ginger nut, yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd give you an update video on what's going to go on in 2018 and also talk about 2017. So ultimately, Happy New Year's first off. Probably already seen my videos going on with the Smash Brothers video, the new LP of Splatoon, and then whatever first impression video goes up, because I'm just going to go with a random one I think at this stage of the game. So basically what I'm here to talk about is that 2017 was pretty good. I don't think it was the best year in terms of everything that happened, because ultimately there's some stuff that I really wish didn't happen. But we'll push forward from that. But one thing I will definitely say with 2018 is that I think the upload schedule at the moment is still going to consist of 3 videos a week. From me, I don't know whether it's going to that's going to stay for the whole year, or whether I'm going to change about halfway through. I don't know. Ultimately, right now I'm working on the countdown of games from 2017 list. I'm actually getting the script up now. I've actually started recording some of that stuff and actually have the list here, which still has a couple of blanks here and there to fill in, but mostly it's mostly done, you know. Like, I haven't recorded everything. I've recorded about almost, I'd say about a third of the script. There's 2 games that I haven't actually written anything for, but I've written the intro, the outro, and a lot of the games that are in the list already. So realistically, it's only a couple of hours job in terms of writing and actually working out what I'm writing, then proofreading the whole lot, and then recording the rest of it is gonna be, you know, the job in itself. So hopefully I can get this video up by next week. That would be the optimum time of putting it up, but I'm still pushing that date towards the end of January, just in case, you know, we have problems with footage or losing sound and like the script or something like that. You know, like things like that can happen. Computer can crash, you know, like things like that. So realistically, other than that video, more standard videos are coming. You know, more Let's Plays are coming in its usual time slot on a Thursday. First impressions videos, I'm going to try and do more, record more first campaign impressions videos compared to first impression. Well, I want to record more first campaign impression videos, but it's only for games that are actually out right now. not necessarily games that are, you know, that are coming in 2018, because I would hope that 2018 has almost as many games, if not as many games as 2017, and a lot of good ones as well, mind you, but I don't know whether that's going to happen yet or not, but it still could happen. I won't completely say no. I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3 is scheduled to come out in 2018, so that's a big plus for me. That's the big game I'm looking forward to this year, which is good. So ultimately, when it comes to first impressions videos and first campaign impressions videos, the format for that's not really going to change too much. I'm loving to do the impression reviews, which are really nice, especially when it comes to handheld games. Now, not all of them are going to be on handheld games. I've got a couple of console games in the script at the moment for impression reviews, but I haven't actually played them yet. But they're on the list to actually play, because I usually have a list of like games and I'm like, okay, I've picked up this handheld game, or I've picked up this game and I want to look at it for an impression review, because ultimately I either can't record a first impressions video or have previously worked on an impressions video for it and it got deleted with one of the games, which will say in the script and the video when it comes to fruition on what game that is. So ultimately, yeah, I've got those, but I'm hoping to actually do some more standard reviews, because I haven't done one of those since the Pokemon review marathon, because that was a lot of work and actually took a while to do. I won't be doing a marathon for quite some time, I think. I hope to do some more standard reviews, which is good, and countdowns, more standard countdowns this year as well. I've had one in the back burner for at least a year and still didn't make the video for it, so ultimately I think this year it's definitely going to be a thing. As it comes to Tuesday's upload, the first upload of my weekly schedule, I know that you've been seeing Smash Brothers a lot, and you know, I've been doing the old Tails run, the Sonic 2 and things like that. On the first upload of my schedule. Ultimately, I want to venture more from Smash Brothers to other games as well. I mean, Smash is going to be a focus on Mondays as well. Like, I love Smash Brothers, and I wouldn't mind bringing, you know, games like Super Smash Brothers Brawl or Melee or Smash 64 to the realm of playing that as well, with replays. That would be, you know, that'd be awesome to do. But I also want to venture into more games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because that has, you know, previews. You know, you've got games like Splatoon 2 where I can just play a few matches and get them recorded and then, you know, split them up into separate, you know, reviews and separate videos, I should say, more than anything else. So ultimately I would love to do more of that on the first upload of the week, because I think that would just give some originality, and not only give some originality, give some variety as well. This guy just got a wicket, that's why I keep looking over there, because they're getting closer and closer and they just got one. But yeah, no, like, that's realistically, that's the big focus I want to go on this year, is more variety on terms of not just Let's Plays, but a lot of different videos as well. I mean, even the First Impressions series is a lot of that, a lot of different variety of games. Ultimately, of course, I'm going to be looking at a lot of series in general that I really focus on, like Sonic the Hedgehog, or the new Mario game, or you know, like a new Marvel vs. Capcom game, and that sort of thing, you know, things that I absolutely love. And I don't mind doing that. Of course, I'm going to be focusing on, I'm going to try and focus on more series in the First Impressions videos, because ultimately that's just the way I am, you know. Ultimately, I can tell you a couple that are on the games that I've got that I haven't actually recorded yet. Things like Super Bomberman R, I've had for a couple of months, but I haven't had time to record that. Puyo Puyo Tetris, also for the Switch. I'm going to be playing that game, because I've played both those games and I haven't actually played the crossover game on Switch yet. I just recently got in the last couple of weeks Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for Christmas, with some Christmas money. So ultimately, I'm going to be looking at that game. Something like Battlefield 1, I haven't picked up, but I'm going to be picking up Battlefield 1 Premium. I think that's what it's called. The Game of the Year edition of Battlefield 1, because I think that'd be cheaper to buy at this stage. And you know, I would have done a video for like Rainbow Six Siege, but I've already played a little bit of that game, so ultimately, you know, there's not much I can do. And you know, games like Call of Duty and that sort of thing are going to get their own impressions videos and stuff like that this year and years to come, unless the series dies. You know, like, that's always going to be happening. I'm going to have my bias when it comes to series that I love, but you know, like, that's ultimately, that's always something that's going to happen. You know, that's why I love the First Impressions series, is because there's a lot of games there that I tried that I actually, you know, like, it would have ventured out of my comfort zone a little bit. Like the Tales of games, I know, were one that I really like, and I really like Tales of Zillia for it. You know, like, I haven't played too much of it, but I like the start of that game, which is good, because when it's an RPG and you've got me hooked at the start, that usually means it's either going to be a really, really good RPG for me, or you're going to drop off a cliff somewhere, you know, like right near the end somewhere, and that's going to piss me off. But ultimately, I don't mind putting the time into a game like that, because I haven't actually played too much after my First Impressions video, really, to be honest, with that game. But I don't mind playing that game because I actually do enjoy the combat style and the story. The story is captivating in that game. You know, I wouldn't experience games like Wonderful 101. I wouldn't have experienced games like some of the Zelda games, like Skyward Sword or you know, Twilight Princess, that sort of thing. You know, like, ultimately I wouldn't have played some of these series that I've played, that I've been interested in the past, if it wasn't for the First Impressions series. And ultimately, you know, I've got more games like that. Like, I haven't even gotten to the Metro Prime games. I've got Metro Prime 3 as a separate copy, but I've also got the Metro Prime Trilogy for the Wii, and I have had that game for at least, I'd say, 2 years at least, maybe even longer. I still haven't played that game at all. Like, I am really, really, really surprised I haven't played that game that much at all. So, you know, like I've played Metro Prime 3, but that's when I had the original copy of the game, and I didn't play too far into it, and I haven't played. Like, after picking up Metro Prime Trilogy, I was like, no, I really want to focus on playing the 3 games separately, and then doing First Impressions videos on them. So I haven't played Metroid Prime 3 for about 2.5 years or something, at least that. So ultimately, you know, that's going to give me a new kind of first impression to Metroid Prime 3, especially after playing the first 2 games, in terms of controls and that sort of thing. But other than that, you know, of course, there's going to be more games coming out this year that I'm going to be excited for. A lot of people are excited for Dragon Ball FighterZ coming up. I'm kind of excited for that game, but I'm not sure whether I'm going to pick it up at launch. The first couple of games I need to focus on is Street Fighter V Arcade Edition and Dissidia Final Fantasy NT for the PlayStation 4. So ultimately, it's those two games at the start of the year that I'm focusing on. I think Bayonetta is closely added to that list because that's coming out early February. But I will eventually pick up Dragon Ball FighterZ. I don't know whether it'll be on day 1 or whether it'll be week 1 or in the same month or what have you. Because apparently that's coming out late January, which I thought it was mid to late February that game was coming out. So has that been pushed ahead, or is that something that I missed? Anyway, I probably rambled on a lot. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I've probably rambled on a little bit. So ultimately, in my original video, I kind of went over the Logan Paul situation and ranted a little bit on on that whole problem with that and YouTube and in general. Ultimately, I just want to say, if you're feeling, because I've had feelings like that. I've had feelings of depression and anxiety and a mixture of those emotions, and feeling like, especially after my breakup, I'm feeling like suicide is the only answer. But suicide isn't an answer. You know, like suicide, you shouldn't have to commit suicide. You know, like that's Ginger barking, probably at the cat, because she kind of doesn't like the cat. But yeah, ultimately, suicide is never the answer. You know, if you're feeling like that and you're feeling like you want to commit suicide, please go see a professional or go ring a suicide hotline and, you know, get a support network in some way, whether it's seeing a professional, seeing your GP, and them relaying you onto a professional like a psychologist or a psychiatrist, or, you know, having friends there, or even family if you're really close and you want to talk to personal situations like that. Like, please use all the avenues you can to get help, because suicide is never the answer to that. And, you know, the fact, like, I haven't seen the whole video. In fact, I think the video right now has been taken down. I think people keep re-uploading it, and, you know, like, reacting to the videos, but they're getting demonetized and stuff. But ultimately, I will say, when it comes to that, please, just, if you're having problems at all, please seek help in any way that you can. Like, ultimately, I've had bad, like I said, I felt like that, but there's some friends that I've actually got that are doing medical, like they're studying the medicinal side of everything. Like they're you know, they're looking at psychology, psychiatry, and, you know, like, they're trying to be doctors and nurses and that sort of thing. And ultimately, you know, like, I can talk to them, and it's really great. I've talked to some family, not, you know, like my parents or my sister or anything about that, but I've talked to family that's pretty close, and, you know, like, I'm getting some of the help that I need. You know, ultimately, I haven't been hit with a really, really depressive state for a while, but ultimately, you know, like, suicide, I will say, it's never the answer. If you have problems at all, whether it's depression, whether it's anxiety, when it's a mixture of the two, whether you personally don't know what it is, but you feel like it's those things, go get help. You know, go get help as much as you can, because ultimately, you just want to live your life to the fullest. You know, you want to live it so that you're proud of yourself, that you had a good innings, as they would say. You know, like, people that live to be like 100 plus years of age, you know, the saying goes, you've batted a good innings. And realistically, you know, like, that's in some ways a cricketing term. Sometimes people see it as a baseball term. Ultimately, that's just how it is. You know, like, ultimately, you want to live to, like, that amount of years. You know, looking back at your life saying, yes, I've accomplished everything that I wanted to do. I went after my dreams, and I got there. You know, you want to be proud of what you do, whether it's the little things or the big things. You know, you take it one step at a time, and that's what I do. Like, even after my breakup, that's realistically how I've been living my life, is one day at a time. You know, like, ultimately, I just live each day like, you know, it's my last one. You know, because one day it will be my last one. You know, like, that's, you know, I'm not saying I'm going to commit suicide. I'm just saying, like, I could die any day at all. Like, even if it's even in, like, an accidental car crash or something. You know, like, so just live your life to the fullest. Live every day like your last. You know, do everything to fulfill your dreams, that sort of thing. If you have any problems, please get help. You know, like, ultimately, can't stress that enough. Whether it's professional, whether it's your GP relaying you to a professional, whether it's just friends or family, or whether it's a mixture of all those things, please do get help if you're feeling that way. But I will say, when it comes to YouTube, they need to fix stuff like this, especially when they have a dead body in the thumbnail, and they have like the words like dead body and suicide forest in the title and the tags and even the description. Like, shouldn't that just set off red flags, and like the demonetization yellow stamp should have been on that video straight away? Because no, like, even Logan Paul said himself, the video is monetized. You know, like the apology that he gave, the apology video that he gave. And realistically, I think the apology video, rather than the apology post that he put up on YouTube, was a better apology. But I still, you know, like, personally, I want to say this guy should just die in a fire and just should not be a part of this platform at all. And realistically, you know, like, I wish so many things bad happened to him, but I can't say that, because that's just not what you should say. But one thing that I want YouTube to fix is that, especially when someone like this guy messes up so bad, put him on a blacklist. You know, because I have YouTube friends like Super Mario Logan. I've been watching since even before I started my channel in March 2010, and most of his uploads now, except for the last couple, have been demonetized in some way. You know, ultimately, yes, some of them aren't family-friendly content, and he's not saying that they're not, you know. But some of them are falsely flagged, and falsely demonetized, and falsely age-restricted for, you know, like, teenage humor. You know, or even, like, kid humor. Like, why? Why a video that has, you know, like, is like an advertisement for, like, McDonald's or milk or something, you know, like, not necessarily a brand? What if, like, why is a family-friendly content video, like, content-filled video, getting demonetized, but yet a guy that's recording a vlog in the most famous suicide forest in Japan finds a dead body and puts it in the thumbnail and in the video? How is that video not demonetized before the family-friendly content video over here? Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. So hopefully, after all this problem, that YouTube looks at it and says, even though you deleted the video, we're still keeping an eye on you, because we can't have this happen on our platform. You know, and I wish that they'd do that with things like Jake Paul as well. You know, like, I'm not just saying, like, those two brothers should be just looked at and blacklisted. There should be more. Ultimately, there's more channels on YouTube that I don't even know about, that have probably done as bad stuff, if not worse, things on the platform in general. And realistically, if you're having a problem like that, just blacklist them, and you have people at your company looking over videos all the time. Why not just focus on those guys? Have some people on the side looking at these channels, because most of them are uploading every day. You know, like, I would assume Logan Paul, I assume Jake Paul, uploading every single day. So why aren't you just watching for more content that's, you know, not family friendly? You know, like, blacklist them. You know, like, that's, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like, YouTube, in a lot of ways, to me, just doesn't make sense with a lot of decisions. But, you know, there's not much more I can say, other than, if you are having problems, please, once again, find help any way that you can. Please, because suicide is not the answer. And I'm just gonna get off this rant now, because I'm gonna be too negative. and that sort of thing, and I want this to be a happy video because it's, you know, like, it's 2018, it's New Year, it's like, it's good. So thank you guys so much for watching this update video that's probably blown right out of proportion now. It's probably way too long now. But, yeah, I'm going to upload it anyway. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching this update video all the way through. This has been Mario Man 10100. You guys have a great day or night, and of course, take care.